Hello folks, welcome to another Reanimator. We have Cindy's the Stoodle playing Esper Reanimator versus Seth Carver on Naya Food. Cindy's going to lead on a flooded strand in passing. We've had both of these decks on camera before, pretty regularly I think. They're both pretty cool. There's a lot of cool stuff going on with them. I'm still getting over my cold, so if I'm sniffling I apologize. I'm more sniffly this video, and I'm angry about it than I was for the last, two I just did the audio for. Alright, so, Seth's deck, pretty simple, pretty cool. So it's using Rocco, the Cabaretti dude, to play as Reanimator. It has to get a Kodakar from the deck, and then you have the general good, Naya food stuff. Or red-green food stuff, with some, white splash for Rocco. Actually, that might be the only white card in his deck, now that I think about it. Of course, I do not have a deck list for either of these players, as this is from our weekly local, and we do not require deck lists for that. Just because I'm pretty sure no one would play if I required deck lists for a weekly tournament. Alright, Cindy's fetched out a Water Grave, shocking in a Hollowed Fountain here. Now, she's doing some cool stuff with her deck. That is a Ledger Shredder, a brand new card from the Streets of New Capenna. It is a rare, it is a 2-mana 1/3 flyer with the Connive mechanic on it, which says whenever a player casts their second spell during either turn, you may draw a card and discard a card, and if it is a non-land card, put a 1/1 creature on the, or 1/1 counter on the creature with Connive. There's a Bird Advisor also, if anyone cared about that part. Alright, speaking of Rocco Cabaretti, there it is coming down. There's an Asmarana Martin has to be Kodakar. It's going to search a Underworld Cookbook. It's weird that it's called the Underworld Cookbook and it's non-legendary. I think if you made it legendary, the food deck would just be worse.
It's not cast, it's just put into play. You just cast the Rocco? Yeah, the Rocco immediately puts this into play. Gotcha. Untap. Yeah.
Alright, Cindy's going to untap here. Now, she's doing some cool stuff with her Reanimator deck. I think she's off of Unmarked Grave and using instead just Ledger Shredder's Connive effect, all the different looting effects to try and get Archon in the graveyard. There could still be one copy of Unmarked Grave in the deck. I'm not too sure. We are checking to see what CMC value or mana value Asmore is, making sure that we can Prismatic Ending it. And so he's going to fetch here. Grabbing a Godless Shrine untapped. I wonder what we'll be going for here. Maybe a Tainted Indulgence. Brand new card also from Streets of New Capenna.
Faithful Ending.
Nope, going for a Faithful Mending. We're going to Connive first, as it is a cast trigger. I'm going to draw a card, discard a card. Discarding a non-land card. And then we're going to draw two. We'll discard two cards. I'm honestly liking the power level of the last couple standard sets. So, Kamigawa was a much higher power level than Streets of New Capenna is. But I feel like Streets actually has, good cards in it. As opposed to, Strixhaven and Kaldheim and Zendikar Rise. Zendikar is okay. But, I mean, Strixhaven really only had Expressive Iteration. I mean, there's Divide by Zero. That's about it. It's really just Iteration or Bust. For, playable cards for that set. But Kamigawa and Streets have had a good amount of things. There's an Underworld Cookbook slightly off screen there. You're going to be discarding cards, I believe. I think that's what we just saw. No. I don't know. I also think we missed a Connive trigger, but that's okay. Playing on new cards here. There's a Persist into the Archon. This is going to sack a Gilded Goose. Going to take 3 damage, discard a card. Lose 3 life, discard a card. That's a very pretty land right there. Cindy's going to draw a card, gain 3 life. Archon of Cruelty is a cool Magic the Gathering card.
12. I'm assuming 12 is right.
I'm actually a really big fan of Cindy's build for this deck. I haven't had Esper Reanimator built in a while, and I'm over here like, I kind of just like want to rebuild it. It seems pretty sick.
Bobble.
There's a Mishra's Bauble, getting a Connive Trigger, discard a card, draw a card, discard a card. There's a Murktide Regent in her hand. Oh no. Gonna Bauble Seth. That's terrifying. I love that card. Don't get me wrong, but holy shit.
Swing 3. That's you.
Alright, passes the turn. There's a Saga's gonna go to 2 here.
That's okay. Move to end step. I'm going to sacrifice Checkier's Fixer to Zaitora.
I feel like the end is coming for our friend Seth.
Another saga.
Because I sacrificed.
Go ahead.
Alright, passes a turn. Do we have a removal spot for the Gilded Goose? Alright, we do not. Gonna return. Oh, I think she has a Fatal Push in hand, actually. Alright, going to push the goose, and that's going to be the game. Alright, folks, Cindy's going to take game 1. We'll be right back with game 2 in just a second.
If I didn't get rid of your commander, I was dead.
Oh, I did it again. I forgot this. That is my.
Alright, folks, we're back with game 2. We got Seth on the play here on a Windswept Heath, fetching, finding, something. Probably a red-green land. If I know Seth, it's a red-green land. It's a stomping ground. Now, what could he be playing with the stomping ground? Gilded Goose? Willowgeist? Ragavan? All cards I've seen him play before. Soul Guide Lantern. Not the card I was expecting. But a pretty good one in the Reanimator matchup, so. Alright. Polluted Delta. Pass.
Whenever a creature you control with haste attacks, create a tap treasure token.
Going to tap it for a Willowgeist. It's going to fetch here. I do like watching Seth play. His decks are always interesting. He played that red-green Saga deck forever. And it was just super cool. I'm a big fan of it. Alright. Going to play an Underworld Cookbook.
On your end step, I'm going to fetch.
Cindy's going to fetch. Gets in. Almost said Underground Sea. Gets a Watery Grave. We putting it in tapped or untapped? Alright, it's going to shock it in. Going to Fatal Push the Willowgeist. So we'll be at 17. One day I will update that life total. Sick. Alright, going to fetch. There's always a small chance I was away from the table, but I doubt that. I just missed the shock. Interesting. Alright, there it is. I use that foot. Was it the Photo Strand? It was the Photo Strand, I'm pretty sure. Alright, he's going to disenchant on the cookbook. And passes the turn. Seth has 2 cards in his hand. Also just passing back. I wonder how many lands he plays in his deck. Seth, if you're watching this, my friend, how many lands do you play? I feel like I watch you get screwed out of mana so often, which is unfortunate, but you're in like 22 plus, like 20 plus Saga? 22 plus Saga? Alright, so he's going to shock in a Hallowed Fountain here, into Prismatic Ending with the Soul Guide Lantern, which is going to just cycle and draw a card. Has a Murktide Regent in hand, also has a Dress Down in hand. Alright, the Gilded Goose. Making a food token when it comes in.
On your end step. Tainted Indulgence.
We're going to Tainted Indulgence here. We'll draw 2 cards, discard a card. Draw 2, discard a card unless you have, I think, 5 or more different mana values in the graveyard, but I highly doubt that's the case right now. Do lands count towards that? The lands don't have a mana value, do they? Or do they technically have a mana value of 0? I don't know Magic. Alright, we are delving out some spells from that graveyard. That is a Murktide Regent coming out.
That's neat.
I think it's a 7/7? Might be an 8/8. That is an 8/8.
Pass you.
It's going to pass the turn. Alright, Seth is going to cast a Rocco, and in response, Cindy's fetching. Grabbing a basic island. And casts a Dress Down in response, so this means that Rocco will have no abilities when it enters the battlefield. So Seth will not be able to search his deck for Asper and Marty and casting the cold card. Lovingly shortened to Asmo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, I'm going to sacrifice at the end of the turn for the beginning of the end step. What is that card?
Combat.
Yep.
Alright, attacking for 8 here. Does Seth trade the goose? Looks like he's not trading the goose. Gonna go to 7. There's a tapped Darkslick Shores. Passes the turn. Could be another Disenchant. Alright, attacks him with Rocco for 3. Could have put Cindy to 10. Alright, he's going to buy Giganta to the hand. And passes the turn. There's an Archon of Cruelty in the hand. Tainted Indulgence, a card I cannot tell what it is. And a Murktide Regent, I'm pretty sure, is the other card.
Archon of Cruelty.
Discards the Archon. Right, we're going to play Bubble, Crack Bubble. Plays land for turn. What is that card? Is it like one of... I'm so confused. Is it a Disenchant?
Second main.
It's just like some Disenchant, or yeah, it's Disenchant. Okay. It's like I've never seen this before. It's the original art for Disenchant. Alright, here comes a second Murktide Regent. With only one spell exiled, so Murktide is going to go. The first Murktide will go to 6, the second will be at 1. Or it'll be a 4/4. And then that one's a 9/9.
I have the Flip Avison in my red-white Giants Angels.
Right, draw for turn, Saga's going to 2. I'm not sure what the good draws are here. Alright. And Seth is going to scoop. Cindy's going to take it 2-0 with Esper Reanimator over Naya Food. Thank you for watching, folks. Have a great rest of your day.